here is where all the things from my first tech or my leather jacket came and did that, and then all the other clothes came, and my anime shirts when I danced in anime, and my majority of hats that I collected for the whole thing. And in here you have like masks like this, a lot of just masks and stuff in there. This is where I put my shoes for shoe wear and my microphone, so that if I produce, I use this very expensive microphone. There was this time where I actually took it out and pretended like I was actually singing, but I was lip syncing to the words from my speakers, which is right over here, which is the JBL 3 and 2, and they both pair sometimes together. Sometimes I would take them both out, sometimes just them separate while the other one charges, so that if one dies, come back, get the other one, that charges, and go back and forth until it's like no more, and there's no more point. And even if there is, then I will just use my earbuds, put them in, and just dance silent when people are just curious of what I'm listening to.
So how would you describe yourself as an artist? I know you do a lot of stuff. You make music, you dance, you do TikToks. How would you label yourself if you had to?
I would label myself as a very busy person, for one. I mean, I do also have 2 jobs, which is fast food at McDonald's, where I do deep cleaning, because when I do deep cleaning, I also deep clean my house, as you can see. And I also just do it because of making people happy, and I just would consider myself very active, so that maybe one day in the future somebody would see that, and then it maybe turns into maybe something else and something. But in the meantime, I just do what I do to make people happy and to upload to so that the world on TikTok knows that where I am, what I do, why am I doing it, and so on. And even when I do live streams, then they kind of know my more personality, where on my friendly side and silly side and what goes on in my brain and everything like that, because I also have ADHD. That's just how I would describe myself. Just somebody that likes to take chances and make people happy, and go about their day and have them memorize what it's like to be here or pass by this friendly town, when like it kind of considers to be like Las Vegas, but kind of like a strip, where it's just like one way is this way with the attractions of dancing, and the other way with music and clubbing. And me, I'm just, I guess, the main attraction to just Merritt. So when people see me, it's just like they don't offer me money because I don't expect them to, but I just do it because of people's happiness and such. So.
And how would you describe your music?
I would describe my music as deep house, car music, slap house, EDM music, and basically in the EDM genre. But who knows, maybe in the future I'll try to learn myself to learn how to do country more. But in the meantime, it's just deep house and slap house and car music and all that new genre for EDM, which is, I guess, was old in the 2018 era. Yeah.
How did you get into that sort of stuff?
Well, I got into it from Martin Garrix, which is back in high school. I was listening to this random track, everybody was, and it was called Back then, when people had subwoofers in the back of their car, stereos, you pull up the trunk and then you have the subwoofer, and it was just booming in the parking lots of McDonald's and everything like that. Listening to Animals and people just going on crazy rides and stuff like that. That's why I wanted to become a producer, because of Martin Garrix. So I bought FL Studio 12, and then it was updated at 20 and so on. And that's just how I would say it. So.
What about the dancing and TikTok and all of that? How do you get involved in
I
that?
danced because it was kind of, something to do. I mean, one day I came across this mask, and it was the Anonymous mask that I really wanted to go out. But during Christmas time, my mom said only one condition: you can wear the mask, but only inside, because I don't want you to go out in public and give people a scare or whatever. So I thought, so I unfortunately disobeyed and just went out and danced, and people were terrified, clueless, and just, etc. And then it went on to the Merritt Grapevine, which ends up being like the Merritt Wire now, and it ended up going from there that everybody started to know me. And my mom said, oh no, just don't worry, it's just my son being silly. And it's just like, yeah, so that's the reason why. And yeah.
What's your favorite memory from doing all these dances and like making music and all of that stuff?
Just memorizing the moments that each day brings. Like, okay, I had to think, like, what kind of dance moves, like, would I want to dance to music, like dancing to the beat or doing the actions of the words? Because when I danced to the action of the words, that's what I learned back in VBS, because growing up as a Christian, I was in those programs where we would just do the actions and do the movements by our hands, and that's what I ended up doing by the words, while also dancing to the beat, and then slowly looking on YouTube and doing the two steps and stuff during in my cowboy era that I am in now.
On that note, how did you go from that? Because I've seen some of your stuff. You've got these neon masks going, all these crazy effects going. When I saw your Facebook post of you in cowboy attire, I was like, ooh, how did that come to be?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because all my life I started with the Anonymous, because it was just like, I mean, I'm not the kind of person that gets too shy or too like embarrassed or whatever, but I just did it for the thrill of, it was anonymous. Nobody knew who I was. So I started from there to dancing from that point to a blown up dinosaur when it used to be shooting for Jurassic World here in Merritt. And then from that I looked up this thing called tech wear, which is basically all in black, kind of like in the other country era where people dress up kind of like that for the streets and only for fashion and stuff. And then I decided to do it, but it also led to some downfalls of the police coming to me and saying, hey, and all that stuff. But then they let me go because they knew who I was. And there's been times where I dressed up kind of like a homeless person, where it was just my jacket, and one time they thought that I was drunk, but I wasn't. And another time I had an umbrella behind my back because I just ordered it from Amazon. They thought, oh, people calling because I was on the top of the hill, and they thought it was a gun. And then the police came, and then they were just like, don't move. I said, okay, I'm not moving. It's just like, so they come up and it's just like, okay, see, I got it. It's like, okay, have a good day, sir. Thank you, you do. And then it's just like that. But in basic terms, I went from Anonymous to Blown Up Dinosaur to Techwear to Squid Games cosplay, and then I did other things, and then I dressed up like anime because at the time I was watching a lot of Demon Slayer, and that was a very fun time to watch, and it created a huge fan base. So I thought, hey, why not? Then I gathered some, followers for that, but then I think they drifted off because I started to change my look every single time on TikTok, which makes sense because they thought it's only for that kind of thing, for a channel of dancing. But then I like to switch it up, so then they go and new people come and go, and etc. And it builds up and then it builds down, and they, etc. But from that to that to that to now this, I just, and maybe eventually I'll move on to something else. But for right now, I like this look because for the longest time I thought, you know what, if I could dance in a way that will be something that Merritt's not used to, because a cowboy, I think they're used to, but for something like tech wear or what have you, they're not. This town is not really known for it. It's more like the Western style, so it's more like, here I am look at me and it's just like, it's not for you, you gotta change. So I'm now a cowboy because I tried for the longest time to just think that maybe to change up this town into something that's not so country, but in a way that's just like different. But you know what, it didn't work, so now I'm a cowboy. I'm joining everybody because it's just like, here I am. Maybe one day I'll have a handprint, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But if it does, great. But if not, okay. As long as I made people happy, that's good.
So now that you're in your cowboy era, what type of new music are you gonna be pumping out?
Well, hopefully still EDM and deep house and everything, but may transition into something that's a more country feeling. I just gotta look it up on my good screen there to just say, okay, this is how you make it. And you know what? For someone that never played piano, I've been slowly learning how to do it. But now to learn how to play guitar, because I can listen to country and it's kind of like that guitar feel and what have you. It's just like, now I gotta figure out how to, play guitar. And eventually I'll probably find out how to do it. But for right now, I'm just doing my original thing until I do otherwise. And then I gotta find out like other country vocals and stuff. But
The EDM cowboy. I love that. I love that.
yeah.
So after this cowboy era, what do you think's the next move for you?
Well, it's always interesting because right now I have no idea, because my wardrobe and myself being so many aliases, it's kind of hard to figure what's next, because just being in the moment, it's just, you never know what you're going to be next, and you think that you're going to just be this look forever until somethsomething else comes up that piques your interest. So, but for right now, I just have to say probably like this cowboy look, because it more likely fits for the town than anything. So,
EDM cowboy. All right. Well, can you show me some music that you got coming down the pipeline?
well, so it's not released yet, but it's called A Part of Me. But this is how it sounds. and that's it.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
You know? So, yeah, that's the new project that I worked on, and then eventually when I get my computer back, it will be out. But for right now, it's just being on hold. So, and I have to say, I have over 800 monthly listeners on Spotify. It used to be over 900, but then it dropped down because I guess I was uploading too much music on the platform. So it's just like, oh boy. But as you can see, it's 836. So yeah, it's a lot of people. So yeah.
Where do you get your inspiration when you make music?
Well, it started from a company called on YouTube called Lithuania HQ. And they're like, at the time, they were like all about the slap house, deep house, car music, vibes and everything. More likely slow paced and everything. But so I would say that, and my transition into EDM with the programming, because I could have had Ableton, FL Studio, which I have, Logic Pro, etc. I ended up going for Fruity Loops, which is other known as FL Studio, because Martin Garrix used it, and just like, why not? And it's actually, I think, easier. At the time, I was just like making bad music. So over time, over the past 10 years, I gathered some inspiration and some other things, and just use my mind and see how that transitioned into what it is today.
You ever dabble into other genres? You mentioned interest in country, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, I've thought about it, but I most likely have like these plug-in presets where it's like the sounds of deep house and everything. If I wanted to go and do more presets and everything, I would have to buy it online, and then it goes into my DAW, and then it goes like from Serum to this and that, and so I'd have to play around with that. And then, but for right now, it's all about the deep house and stuff, because it's all genres all the way down from long listings. So yeah, but you never know, I might go buy another preset that's similar to country, or that is around country era. So I might just do that when it comes to it.
Do you like hip-hop?
Hip hop, yeah, that hip hop is always good, and I like rap. I mean, I was just looking up hip hop country and rap country and Christian country, and but not metal country. Oh no! I would not want that. I mean, just the whole voice thing. I feel bad for them, because they have to go home. They gotta talk with their family, and at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure they're just like, I can't talk right now because I just lost my voice. And it's just like, yeah, well, that's what happens when you're in a metal band. It's like, I know, right? It sucks. Yeah, you're telling me. So, so that's just how it is. But, yeah, but other than that, I'd say just whatever comes to mind. And maybe there's pop country, I'm sure, but, like, I just go with the flow. So
what's your long-term vision with all of the stuff that you do?
I just, like, what's my mission in all this?
Like, what do you hope? I mean, that's a part of the question, but I guess, like, what do you hope your legacy will be?
Just something to, so when the day comes when I pass away or get into an accident, because I've already been in an accident before, or something wrong happens, or, heaven forbid, somebody is jealous, or something terrible happens and it's like a murder scene or something like that. At least I know that deep down I did what I did to make people happy, to see the kids roll down their windows and smile and wave, because I've been gone to Kelowna for my grandparents because they live in Trail, and there was this one lady in Inigo that pulled me aside because I was in the lineup of Starbucks, and I was just like, hey, are you that guy that dances in Merritt? Just like, well, yes, at the time I didn't hear it because I had my earbuds in, but literally there was girls looking at me, looking at her like, okay, so I took and so anyways, it's been like, oh, well, my daughter just wanted to say hi, and she gave me the biggest smile, and she was just waving and looking up with her head straight up, and it's just like, because she's, how tall she is, but yeah, she's looking up and smiling and waving, and it's like, well, have a great day. I said, you too. And they carried on. I carried on with mine, waiting in line for the freaking Starbucks, because it's just like, my goodness, how long does this have to take? But other than that, yeah, that's just the majority of it. So at least when I leave this earth, somebody could say, hey, remember that guy? Have you ever seen that guy when he was dancing? What are you talking about? I mean, the guy that was dancing. Oh, that guy? It's like, yeah, that guy. It's like, oh, I never thought of that. But at least there would be videos of me dancing, and then there's proof that I was here, and somebody would say, well, guess what? I'm so lucky because I'm in a town that a guy used to dance his heart out because he loved the people that he was around, and that he knew that life was too short, that he just wanted to do what he had to. And even on his days off, when he could have gone hiking or gone out and find a girlfriend or whatever, he ended up just staying in the same place, in different places around town, making people happy, thinking that he would probably, who knows, eventually go and because people go up to me and dance or whatever, maybe one day he would think, oh, maybe there will be a girl just thinking that it would be coming up to me or whatever, however it is, or I will go somewhere, because even down at the coast probably know me too when they pass by, and it's like, hey, you're that guy. It's like, right? It's just like, then we start a thing maybe someday. But until then, I'm just gonna dancing, and I'll probably dance till I'm 90. So yeah, it's gonna be a long road ahead, but it's going to be all worth it. And then people are going to be like, well, you slowed down. Well, I know, right? Because I'm old. Give me a break, my old chap. Yeah, that's pretty much the mission and the goal